Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button for the algorithm. And if you're one of my continued followers, if you find this information informative, please share it with people that you think will find it informational. And if you want to financially support the channel, you can make a donation on my Cash App, $Trevor Donald 20, Trevor Donald 20. And I want to thank all my supporters and subscribers and followers in advance. And this particular subject I want to talk about has to do with teachers, female teachers, and male students, and the inappropriate behaviors that have taken place. And I think the capital, the main state that you see this out of all the time, is the state of Florida, where you have these young female teachers in their 20s, early 30s who have had inappropriate relationships with middle school male boys and high school young men. But this one is very peculiar for two caveats. One has to deal with a legal caveat, and the second one has to deal with a technology caveat. All of it's legal, but it'll make sense in a second. So this is all about a young lady who was a science teacher out of Charlotte, North Carolina, named Gabriella Neufeld, 26 years old. She was having a sexual relationship, inappropriate relationship with an 18-year-old student. So technically he is of legal age. He's not 16, 17, he's actually 18 and a senior in high school. And the way they got caught was not that his mother went through his phone and saw text messages or any of that, but she actually had a GPS on his phone. And he was supposed to have been at rugby practice, but when she looked at the GPS, he was not at rugby practice. He was at a park. She went to see what he was doing. I guess he was having some past behavior problems that she wanted to pay close attention to. And she goes to the park and she finds Miss Gabrielle, the teacher, and her son engaging in intercourse in her car. She actually physically caught them. And subsequently she called the police. Miss Neufeld got arrested. And so, a lot of parents, especially single parents, will have GPSs on their kids' phone to monitor their activities. In today's time, it's such a dangerous world, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on at a blink of an eye. So I can understand that. But Miss Neufeld got arrested, and here is the deal. The kid is technically of age. However, a teacher in the state of North Carolina cannot have sex with a student if she is 4 years older than him. So she's 26, he's 18. There's an 8-year gap. That is the legal part of it. So she was more than 4 years. So had she been 21 and 18, then there would not be a legal, she would have not broken the law. She may have violated a moral turpitude clause for being a teacher and engaging in a relationship with a student and gotten herself fired from teaching or from that district, but it would not have become a criminal matter. Well, it has now, because in the state of North Carolina, a teacher cannot engage in sex with a student, even of age, if he or she is 4 years older than him. And it doesn't make a difference whether it's consensual or not. And now she's facing, she can be charged with a felony and face up to 47 months in prison, which is unbelievable. Not unbelievable in that she shouldn't have had a relationship with the student. That is unbelievable, and she shouldn't have been doing that. And she's a very pretty girl, pretty young lady. So there's something that's lacking in her life to make her, out of all the men in North Carolina and Charlotte and across the country, that she wants to pick her student and place herself in an immoral, unethical situation. That is poor decision making, and it's something that's inside her soul that she is lacking and missing, and definitely she needs some mental therapy and find out where that source of that inappropriate behavior and wrong decision making is taking place. I don't know if she comes from a fatherless home or what's going on with her, but there's something going on with her mentally to think that it's okay for her to have a relationship with a student and then to proceed to have sex with him in her car in a public park. I would assume she has an apartment. Maybe she has a boyfriend or lives with someone. I don't know why they were engaging in that at a park. There are violations of laws for public sex and all of that kind of stuff also. So she's being charged with several things. Engaging in public sex at a park and all that. I know that's against the law. And so in the state of North Carolina, each state has its own laws for all kinds of criminal activity. And in the majority of the states, consent are of legal age. It would be 17 in most states. And this kid was 18. But the caveat is that she was more than 4 years older than him. And the other caveat is that people have to be very careful, whether you're married and committing adultery or you're messing around with certain folks and you think it's in secret. These GPS monitoring systems have gotten a lot of people in trouble. It's gotten a lot of wives and husbands in trouble that have cheated on their spouses. And there are plenty of parents that are GPSing their kids to see where they are, what they're doing, if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And technology has advanced at such a pace that you can't even blow your nose or sneeze without 10,000 people seeing it or being aware of it, or 100,000. Between the satellites in the sky, these cameras, there's GPS systems in cars and definitely on your phones. People get convicted of murders all the time using their phones or criminal activity, and these phones are never off. So the two caveats was the GPS that the mother had on the son, and that even though the kid was 18 years old, she was 26. She was more than 4 years older than him from a state legal scenario. She was going to get fired anyway, because there's a violation of moral turpitude where a teacher in a superior position is engaging in inappropriate behavior with a student. It's no different than correctional officers and prisoners. A correctional officer is not supposed to have sex with prisoners because both of them are adults, but they are in a superior position than the prisoner, the correctional officer, and the prisoner is in an inferior position. So it blends from a legal standpoint that that prisoner could be seduced or coerced into doing something that he or she does not want to do. And the same thing applies for teachers and students, or lawyer and client. Lawyers are not supposed to have sex with their clients and that sort of thing. And there can be consequences and legal issues in relation to that also. Or a boss and an inferior employee. Those are inappropriate measures that you're seeing in the Me Too movement, sexual harassment that take place. So the position that you have in society and in your job, and how you relate to people in inferior positions can get you in trouble if you are egregious in pushing your power onto someone and having them do things that they are not comfortable with in many different facets of life. So yeah, this falls under a similar statute as a correctional officer with a prisoner, a teacher and a student. This kid was of age, 18. She's 26, but however, under the state law, state statute, she could not be more than 4 years older. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, I always talk about everybody worries about who's the next president and vice president on a national level. But I'm also doing this video because it's very important to know your state and city laws. Those have more of an immediate effect on you than your national ones and your federal. Most crimes that are being committed are state crimes. They're not federal. They're people participating in. And so you need to know who your alderman is, your councilman, your mayor, your state legislators, your state Supreme Court judges, how are they legislating, your county executive, all those positions that can affect you on a daily basis. Child support laws, they were sending people to jail for many, many years, and each state mandates them differently. Missouri was way more restrictive than Illinois. Missouri was sending people to jail for child support, which is really a civil matter that they turned into a criminal matter. So I'm bringing this up with this teacher and this student. These things happen all the time, but everything is very important. The GPS is real. Technology is advanced at an exorbitant rate. Knowing your state laws and how they can affect you. She probably thought that she could have a consensual relationship and keep it quiet because he was 18 and did not know that there was a 4-year age gap in there. And now she's in a ton of hot water, going to lose her job, probably may go down as a sex offender, one having intercourse in a public park. You could get charged with you can get charged and placed on the registry in some states if you get caught publicly urinating somewhere and the police find out. There's not just a citation. You can actually end up on the sex registry. So it's very important to know your state laws. It's very important to stay aware and conscious of what's going on and how these things affect you with personal property taxes. All of these things that happen on a local level before you start worrying about who is your president and vice president. Once you educate yourself on your state, then you go to your national and federal laws. But make sure you read and pay attention so you don't get caught up in this chasm or this axiom of confusion in life. And that's what my channel is about, raising our level of consciousness and awareness. So manifest your truth in the right way, positive, ethical, moral. Check this situation out with this teacher, 26 years old, out of Charlotte, North Carolina, with this student. And please stay aware, conscious, and share this commentary if you can.